lot. Hey, you guys. At Catapult Ocean, we're climate investors, so we invest into the oceans for climate impact. We've been doing that since 2019, and we're the world's most active investor in the blue economy space. So let's get going. For many of you, this is our first time here in Norway. This is my first time arriving in Norway, meeting my mom and dad and sister for the first time. So I grew up here. I'm from around here. I grew up near the oceans. I've been an ocean investor the past decade. So I've been an investor for 20 years in the financial industries, working with large asset portfolios, ESG investing. I started a hedge fund investing for ESG before the ESGs arrived. So I've been actively seeking more sustainable investments and more impactful investments. So I have a huge climate anxiety. And I know that if we want to solve the climate crisis, we need to invest for earlier stage at the venture stage and invest in new solutions, like Bill here. And we must change almost everything we do to meet the climate goals. And we're heading not at the best stage. And we must change how we invest, how we produce, how we operate, how we do business, and we need to do that collectively. When we started Catapult Ocean, we looked for the largest possible ocean impact we could have, hence the oceans. The oceans cover our planet to the 70% and have a large opportunity for climate impact. It's the biggest climate stabilizer we have to date. It produces 50 to 80% of the oxygen we breathe. It holds 99% of all livelihood and all species on the planet. And it absorbs 90% of all the excess heat in the atmosphere. So large impact opportunities here. But oceans are changing. And we're not the biggest or the best stewards of the oceans. And we need to do something about it. But where we see large challenges, we also see large opportunities, like our innovators. So we all can agree that everything about this picture is wrong. This is bad stewardship. And this is not in Southeast Asia. This is in Europe, in our own backyard, in Bulgaria. So large opportunities there as well. Europe will be, the offshore wind industry will be the largest energy source for Europe in the next 10, 15 years. Investing in this makes sense for us. It's large opportunities. It's a lot of big players and governments pushing in this direction. Marine transportation, 80% of everything around you is shipped by sea. Massive opportunities in decarbonization, new ship designs, new fuel types. 16 of all the world's greatest ships emit the same as all the world's cars. Makes sense to work on that note. Lastly, 3 billion people rely on the oceans for food as their primary food source. And we need to see that number growing, not declining, as we're not stewarding our oceans the best way. So are there enough innovators? Are there enough investments to be made? Deal flow? Yes, there are. We release this report on an annual basis, and we see the ecosystem growing. More innovators are coming, more investors are coming, and also governments also stepping up to the plate. That's why we invest in enabling technologies in this region of ocean economy. Gazelle wind power, enabling offshore wind industry, taking 5 years' time, not 10, 20 to reach the goal. Floating solar offshore. Large vehicles, 3 meters above water, 16 by 16 meters, massive impact and opportunity. At Catapult Ocean, we also have a large appetite for seaweed. Everything from harvesting, biorefinery, the end products you can taste back there with kelp chips. We believe in a world where seaweed is on the plate in the Western world to a larger extent than it is now. That's why we invest in making that transition. Ocean rainforest on the Faroe Islands, scaling the industry. That's what we need to see happening. Lastly, we also invest in alternative protein and lab-grown seafood, because this is the future, and we believe that this space will only be growing as long as we live. That's why we invested in Hook, and Hook too, also well represented here. So there's a lot of other investors in this space, but we got room for more. There's a lot of other innovators in this space. We got room for more. And if you'd like to know more about us or talk deeper into the ocean, we're happy to have a workshop over there with our oceans team. Thanks a lot.